Check this out.
Hello and welcome to a special NBA draft edition of the Black and White Show with me, Max Whittle.
And me, JD Dyer.
Of course, the draft's tonight, so what are we going to talk about? The top two picks, Ben Simmons of LSU and Brandon Ingram of Duke. They're slated to go 1-2. The Philadelphia 76ers have already told Simmons that he's going to go number one.
And Ingram's ready to go to California. So.
Oh, who wouldn't be? I'm ready already, and I'm not going to next year.
But yeah, hit it off, man. Ben Simmons, talk to me.
Let's start with Simmons. So an Australian, he went to a small school and he started in the US in high school. He started playing his basketball overseas. His dad was born in the Bronx, but he actually went back to Oz to play pro ball. The slight on Simmons is that he can't shoot the ball. He averaged 20 in college, but he hasn't got a very good jump shot. That's one slight on him. Also, what's his mindset like? Why did he go to a school at LSU when he could have gone to a contender like North Carolina or Duke, like Ingram did? I think he went to an easy school where he didn't have to go to class all the time. There were some scandals there. He didn't always turn up, didn't fulfill his timetable. And worst of all, LSU didn't even make the NCAA tournament. When they could have gone to the NIT, they refused not to. What does this tell me about him and the way he's with his teammates? I think he was just there to get to the NBA, which he's done. But that would be my first negative of him, because I'm such a positive guy.
My first positive is I'm very much a superstitious person, and I look at history and I look at people that have come from certain colleges and how they've affected the NBA and franchises that have selected certain players and how people live up to those legacies. So my first thing when I turn around and hear about an LSU graduate, LSU graduate is Shaquille O'Neal. First person that comes to my brain.
Okay.
And when we talk about someone that's going to be drafted towards the Philadelphia 76ers as a first round draft pick, who's the first person that comes to your mind?
Allen Iverson.
AI.
The answer.
I mean, there you go. There's two people to live up to already. If that can't get you motivated for the NBA, I don't know what else can. Young man, everybody's talked about you. Everybody's come around and saying, I mean, I've heard quotations like the second coming of LeBron James.
All Lamar Odom. But that's the other thing.
You're talking about two people that still want a ring.
I just can't. You cannot compare any college player, let alone LeBron before comparing him to MJ. You can't compare Simmons to LeBron James. He'll come in and play the point forward position, so he'll play point guard a lot of the time. The Sixers need a point guard. Ish Smith, no thanks. But the Sixers has the the tanking finally pay dividends. They've got the number one pick. They haven't always had it.
And also, I have to give credit to the Sixers organisation because...
Really?
Well, I do, because Ben Simmons very much made it clear that he didn't want to do any sort of pre-ritual or pre-workout training.
He didn't want to go to Philly.
Any sort of franchise. But somehow they've managed to manoeuvre in the last couple of days. He's had a private workout session.
Yeah.
And I feel like now he's very much understood within his brain that Philadelphia is where his home's going to be next year. Well, so he might as well understand and get used to the city, because they're not giving up. Poor sod, he has to settle for the They're not giving up their first round draft pick, and they're not giving up their first overall. And Ben Simmons is the only person they have their eyes on. If you have the power, bring the best player in.
My last point on Simmons is that he didn't want to work out. It wasn't just any team. He didn't want to work out with the Sixers specifically. His agent wouldn't have granted that unless he said the team told him he was going to be picked, so he had to put up or shut up, essentially. He did not. This is what it comes back to, the attitude issues with Simmons. He didn't want to go to the NIT. He didn't want to fight for his teammates to get to the college tournament, the NCAA. And he didn't want to go to the Sixers until he had to. Then he went to this workout. For me, that doesn't tell you this is a franchise player who's going to take your team on and win championships. Well, and he's got the same... Jerry Colangelo's been dropped in this season.
Jerry Colangelo very much knows what he's signing up for, and he's already got what's considered a sour egg in Jahlil Okafor.
A sour egg? I've never had one of them before.
I'm going to tell man to say he's already got someone that's considered a bad rotten egg there.
Okay.
So to add another component to that, you're asking for some trouble. But then again, when you have two people that are both talented, both young, both can see the future, if they very much focus and work together, they could, not this season, not any season coming up soon, but they could build what is seen to be a very, very decent.
Look, the Sixers fans need something to believe in.
Of course they
do.
But
I don't give credit to the team at all, because they've got Okafor, Embiid, Nerlens Noel, three big men. You can't play all three of them. Simmons will be more of a point forward, but you can't tell me that drafting those guys in, or they didn't always get the number one pick, was a good move. But it gives them hope. That's all I can say. Brandon Ingram, who's going to the Lakers.
Get ready for LA.
Much better situation.
Stay focused.
Yeah, stay focused.
Stay away from D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, have you seen the commercial? Yeah. So if you haven't seen the commercial,
please tune in.
Explain.
Basically, they have all the rookies from last year, the standout rookies. They have Cat, they have D'Angelo Russell, they have Ben Simmons, all in the room.
Devin Booker
as well. Sorry, shout out to Phoenix Suns. But they were all in the room and they turn around and running their jokes about getting them prepared for the league. And everybody has their own little segment. You know what I mean? Cat's turn around and said, you got to put hard work in.
Cat's a serious one. Double.
Hard work in. Rookie of the year. You know how it is. You've got to be able to be focused when you come to the NBA. D'Angelo Russell was like, give me your phone. And he threw out the window.
Can we reenact it?
And he threw out the window. Which, obviously, I feel like it's a bit too soon considering that Nick Young...
Oh, they've broken up, man.
They just broke up,
I saw the images. I was on the Daily Mail today.
Staying focused.
I don't read the Daily Mail.
LA is full of huge distractions. So, young man, when you go there, remember why you're there. That's what I'm going to say to him. But in terms of his artillery as a player, putting up very, very good numbers, 19 and 11. He's a very, very powerful person. Everyone's saying there's a big dangly comparison.
This is the issue. Kevin Durant came into this league from Texas with a similar stature, very tall, very skinny. Ingram is even more so. So although he's apparently eating, I think 3,000 or 4,000 calories during the off-season,
he's not going to be ready for the NBA.
Trying to lift weights. Physically, I don't think he's ready for the NBA, but skill-wise, I think he's more ready to succeed
100%.
Now than Simmons is, because he can shoot the ball from three. He's a dynamic player, and if you look at how the NBA is going with wing players, with tall people who can shoot, I didn't explain that very well. Tall people that can shoot, but they are. Ingram is just that guy. He can fit into that system straight away. Yeah, that's an NBA player.
Yeah, that is.
And the new coach. For me, that is the best thing I can say. If Simmons went to the Lakers and was tutored by Luke Walton, he developed quickly. Ingram's going to get that.
You're talking about a coach that's won rings, a coach that understands how to create a good system.
Yeah.
He's going to get a very, very good foundation to build off. And it's up to him what he decides to do with it. I mean, we've seen so many prospects come to the league, especially in the last couple of years, we've seen prospects come to the league and not do as well as they should have. I'm not saying any names, Anthony Bennett. But I'm just going to turn around and say, it's difficult. There's a massive difference between college basketball and the pros. Yeah. And he already is at a disadvantage because biologically...
Ingram played under Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski.
Of course.
Can I say this right? Krzyzewski?
We'll just say the best
Mike
coach.
Coach K.
The best coach in college.
Olympic coach for the USA team. So he's had a very good grounding. That's what I would say, and also look out for some trades. Maybe Boston Celtics.
100%. Boston Celtics are very much in control of this whole trade roster. They are in control because with the 3rd overall pick and with a very, very strong roster as it is already, they're
looking for a veteran.
They will dictate a lot of what goes on.
Thanks for listening. Remember, the draft is tonight. You'll get it on all the NBA channels, and we'll talk about it more in depth next week.